guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to go ahead and list the 10 most hated, most annoying champions to face inside this game. Well, I say to face, but with one or two exceptions in terms of annoying champions on your own team, which we'll also cover in today's list. I want to give a big shout out to 5 of my clanmates, David, Flicka, Phalanx, Doctor Who, and Ageless, because I asked my clanmates, I don't want this list to be so biased towards the champions that only I am annoyed to go against, especially inside the arena, but really all of my clanmates who were on at the time. So big shout out to those guys in the clan. Let's go ahead and jump into the list, guys. So I want to start out with my personal least favorite champion to face. I hate facing Hegemon so much. Void Legendary, very difficult to get, but if you do have him, boy is he a super pain. Well, I guess a super asset? Super pain to face, super asset to have on your team, right? He's not annoying if they're on your team, very annoying if you have to face them. Now, Hegemon always goes first, so you can't outspeed Hegemon. That's what makes him so freaking annoying. On his A2, attacks all enemies, 50% chance of blocking all cooldown skills. So it's a 50-50 that all your champions are basically negated before Hegemon's team, the team that you're fighting, has a chance to absolutely destroy you. Again, I hate him so much that I just started farming Fire Knight almost exclusively for like a month in this game just to get immunity gear so I wouldn't have to put up with him. And number 2 on our list, which happens to be another champion that I hate facing off in the arena against, and that is Tormund the Cold. I hate the fact that he gives a chance on freezing your champions even at the start of their round, whenever they have a full turn meter. That is so annoying, and just like Hegemon, I built out, because of a Tormund's freeze just being so meta warping and game changing inside the arena, especially on defense, for both of these champions, I'm just running straight up all immunity gear on everybody except for my Arbiter, my speed champion, because, I'll take the 50-50 on her because I need that speed from the speed sets. Other than that, all my champions are getting immunity gear because I hate facing Tormund and Hegemon. Am I alone in that? Do you guys join me in my I hate to say hate so much, but my ire for these two champions? Let me know in the comments below. Let's go on to the third champion. So you love her and you hate her, but it's Skullcrown. Now the reason people find Skullcrown annoying isn't because she has 2 AoE attacks, only AoE attacks, and that she's a pretty hard-hitting nuker. The real reason people find her annoying is when she is unkillable, right? I mean, nothing worse than being wiped out, and I'm sure many people watching have been there. Nothing worse than being wiped by a Skullcrown who should have been dead a long time ago, but she's been sitting at 1 HP and just goes with the auto A1 or A2 to finish off your team. So that's another reason why I have a buff remover, a buff stripper on my team in Madame Ceres, just to deal with the Skullcrowns out there, because there's no doubt about it. A Skullcrown who does not die, who AoEs your team after she's at 1 HP, can be rather annoying. So a Skullcrown does make the list of top 10 most hated champs. So next up is Rotos the Lost Groom. What can I say about this champion, guys? He's a single targeting champion who almost feels like a heavy AoE nuker. He does so much damage. He'll open up with his A3. He'll ignore 75% of the target's defense, 100% if they have him in Savage gear. Also going to ignore unkillable. Also going to ignore block damage. Also grants an extra turn. Also on a 3-turn cooldown. Then he goes right into his A1, which has an additional 30% chance of granting another extra turn. Boom. Kills another one of your champions, and then moves into the A2, which is a hard-hitting ability. He can kill 3 or even all of your team in one sequence by proccing these extra turns. So not only is he incredibly good as a single target damage nuker, but also he just gets extra turn after extra turn after extra turn. This guy is a maniac. Definitely makes the list of most annoying champions in the game. So we covered the groom, let's talk about his bride, Sippi the Lost Bride. Sippi, you're just the best champion in the game, basically. Her and Marshal Ed, I think, are the best champs in the game. Overall, just like Whirlwind Romance, what beats this? Turn meter manipulation, turn meter increaser, block debuffs, increased defense, increased speed, for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Are you kidding me? And then she has the revival on there, places a full turn meter on the revival too, 55% HP. She revives the champion, they automatically get to go. That's annoying. And then she has the Rotos, the Lost Groom. She can remove all debuffs from him at the start of their turn if they're on the same team. That's annoying. And then on her A1, she has a sleep or a heal there. So Sippi has a little bit of everything that you're looking for from a support champion in this game. She's just annoying because, you know, paired with Rotos, what's worse than one Rotos? Maybe two Rotoses, but two Rotoses in a Sippi. Sippi is really, really S tier in terms of support in the game. Some might argue she is unbalanced. I will leave that up to you guys to decide in the comments below, but I think if she gets a little nerf at some point in the future, it would not surprise us. She's that strong in terms of support inside the game. Next up is Duchess, and Duchess, let me tell you, man, she is still really annoying to face inside the arena. Even after her very mild nerf, she can revive all champions with a veil on them. So puts a veil and revives them with 70% HP, 4-turn cooldown, and continuous heal. So she's healing all these champions up. She's reviving them as well. She's putting a veil on them to protect them. You guys know what she does. It's annoying. And then on top of that, she has the perfect veil on all allies except this champion on her A2 as well. Increase attack buff, but what's more, a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns. She can be a force to be reckoned with between the Shroud of Souls with the perfect veil and then the veil on the revival on the Spectral Rebirth. She really just has a lot of annoying veilish abilities with that strong revival. We've all been there where we almost killed the team and then boom, with one ability, the Spectral Rebirth, or then going into the Shroud of Souls afterwards, can't debuff the opponents, can't really get around Duchess. Duchess can be very threatening if you don't have a great response for her, and heck, she even has the speed aura in all battles by 19%. I forgot who it was, but somebody in my clan chat was just going off on Marshal Ed, and it's rightfully so, right? A 3-turn cooldown tornado, I've said it before, right up there. It's got to be top 3, top 5 abilities in the game, maybe the best ability in the game because it grants an extra turn, right? So you use this on a 3-turn cooldown, and then you have an extra turn immediately afterwards. It has an increased speed and an increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns, but the most annoying part, in my opinion, when facing Marshal Ed is the True Fear and a leech debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, especially the True Fear, man. True Fear is going to be the most frustrating thing next to Hegemon's block cooldown skills ability in the game. I think that True Fear it's basically when you use an ability, you have a chance at nothing happening and putting that ability on cooldown. Boy, that's really, really annoying. Marshal Ed, famous from going from the worst champion in the game, the worst legendary champion in the game, to one of the best, if not certainly maybe top 5 legendary champion inside the game, overall champion inside the game. And really, Open Wounds is a great ability. A1 is pretty solid. Will attack an AoE under all enemies under Leech, but really, it's all about the Tornado, man. Tornado starting the match with this tornado ability and then immediately going to the A3 and Open Wounds all before the opponents even have a chance to do anything is a really, really strong opener, and it's really, I just hate going against it. Next up is Warlord. Warlord, for all the reasons we've mentioned on a couple of these champions, Orcish Rituals has got to be, in my opinion, the most annoying thing to go against inside the arena. If you guys go against Warlord, just be on the lookout, because this ability is insane, right? It has the 100% chance when booked of placing each target skills straight up on cooldown. Like, that's it, game over, match over. You can only use your A1s, right? That's 100% when booked, 100%, not 50% like Hegemon, 100%, everything's on cooldown. And then, in addition to that, has another 50% chance when booked to fully deplete each target's turn meter. So guess what? All of your skills are on cooldown, and to add insult to injury, in this one ability, granted 5-turn cooldown, but in one ability, we're also going to go ahead and fully deplete your turn meter 50-50 at that happening as well. This can totally take a team out of the equation in the arena. Orcish Rituals, I absolutely hate going against Warlord for that ability. Granted, again, immunity gear is going to be your best friend when going against champions like Warlord, Hegemon, and Tormund here on the list, but if you don't have it, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble unless you can go first. Next up is Krisk the Ageless. Krisk is a champion that, man, I wish I had. If you have him, I am very jealous of you. I am very jealous of you. He has AoEs on every ability, kind of. The A3 is just an AoE provoke. Also has an increased defense on himself for 2 turns because you're going to need it with the provoke on there. Also has increased speed on all allies, 30%. For 2 turns as well on a 3-turn cooldown. Add to that he's placing a shield buff on all allies equal to 50% of this champion's max HP at the start of every round, has a 75% chance of placing a decreased defense and a decreased attack on the attacker for 1 turn whenever he is hit, and that can be booked up to 100%. That's the Might of Ages ability. And then he has the AoE decreased speed on his A1. On his A2, he has an AoE attack, and then he places an ally protect buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. And then he places 2 continuous heal buffs on him for 1 turn, increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown. What the heck, right? Are you kidding me? Even though I knew about his kit, I knew what he did before this video, just reading this out loud, it's like, wait a second, it's an AoE attack. No, wait a second, he's also adding the ally protect. Okay, cool. Wait a second, he's putting some continuous heals on himself. That's nice. Oh wait, he's increasing the duration of every ally buff as well? Good God, man. Krisk the Ageless, you are OP. You are OP. It's just jealousy speaking. I'm just jealous. Next up is Maneater. So Maneater is a very interesting champion until you go against him in the faction wars. You know that team I'm talking about? I don't know what level, at what stage it is, but it's just like 3 or 4 Maneaters, or 2. I don't know. It feels like 10 of them, you know? Going against Maneater, when he's able to get the Ancient Blood, the unkillable Maneater, the Ancient Blood ability is block debuffs and unkillable for 2 turns. It's just a game-changing ability. Similar to like Umbral Enchantress, I just find Maneater a little bit stronger and more annoying and more oppressive when going against. It's just the unkillable on everybody, and then block debuffs on everybody. You just need that debuff stripper, because other than that, you're screwed going against Maneater. I hate going against multiple Maneaters as well. I think he's one of the more annoying champions to face, and like I said, that faction wars level, where it's just like, okay, you're going against like 5 Valkyries, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying. You're going against like 5 Valkyries one stage, and then it's like, oh crap, now I'm going against 15 Maneaters, awesome. Thank you, Raid Shadow Legends, for this pleasant experience. So Maneater can definitely get under my skin, can you tell? And last but not least is going to be Skull Lord Vargal. So Skull Lord, why am I putting him on here? It's not annoying to face Skull Lord. It's pretty pleasant to face Skull Lord. I was considering, there's some options here, right? There's Crypt King, there's Skull Lord, there's Moss Tuck. They all have like these 2 name things, but legendary champions who, especially the reason I want to really focus on Skull Lord and Mossbeard is because these champions were more easily accessible than your typical legendary champion because they were available in fusions. But Raid Shadow Legends Plarium made them so awful that they're almost a meme, they're almost a joke. So why is he annoying? He's annoying because of how bad he is. Skull Lord Vargal is just not that good, and that might be a big understatement, guys. I mean, it increases his champion's turn meter. When I see heal reduction, I already get like not too excited, right? No damage here, just a strengthen buff. 75% chance of placing a provoke on a target enemy for 1 turn. Okay, all right. AoE attack here. Has a chance of placing a decreased attack debuff. All right. And then when attacked, decreases the attacker's max HP by 5%, and then revives him at the start of every turn. It's weird. Like, why do you want to revive a champion at the start of every turn who's this bad? You know what I'm saying? I kind of kid, because his base stats are not that bad. His base speed is actually really high at 107, so he's not like the trashiest champion in the game. He's not like worse than every rare champion in the game, but there's nothing worse than a fusion for a subpar legendary champion. And we saw that kind of, you could argue that was the case with Killian. It was the case with Gerptuck. Gerp Tuck Mossbeard. It was the case with him. I mean, if you're in a rush to poison and kill your entire team, Gerp Tuck, come on, dude. I'm not even gonna edit this either. Gerp Tuck Mossbeard is the champion for you if you're in a rush to do that. So I'm kind of cheating here and giving a couple honorable mentions with this last spot. It's just the sucky legendaries, because what's worse than having a sucky legendary fusion? It's pulling a champion that was previously available during a sucky legendary fusion, especially if you fuse them. Now you have dupes of the worst legendary in the game. Congratulations, guys. Let me know, who are your least favorite champions in the game? Who annoys the hell out of you because they're too strong, they're too OP, or just annoys you because their kit makes no sense, or you just hate these champions because, well, you just do. You own them, maybe you wasted resources in upgrading them, guys. I can't wait to hear what champions you guys hate. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.